I'm Ethan Burke, Irongate Realtors. It's Burke and Banter podcast. Today I have
Connor Gottstein, owner of Gottstein Excavating, site development company. Guys, a lot of people hate ones that turn fields into subdivisions or strip malls or whatever. We won't talk about that part of the business. It's the ones ruining the nature.
So you guys, what's like the most common thing that you guys do?
Underground utilities. Probably 90% of it is either from the low end of like residential new construction. We're the guys who hook up where this plumber inside the house stubs out to the main city sewer, main water, or the water service from the street to the house, the water meter pits, all that, gas and electric. So we do pretty much everything that's underground in a new construction house. And then for the commercial side, like we're up doing Yellow Springs High School's site work right
That's
now.
cool.
So we're doing all the storm system, so all the catch basins, all the pond work, pond outlet structures. We're also doing all the sewer mains, water mains, abandoning the old water mains, building new meter pits, the big underground pits. We do a little bit of dirt work, not much. Pretty much our main focus is in the utilities. It's just the niche that I started in and just never really left.
So did you come into this from a different excavating company, or like how did you get trained in this?
So the backstory on me is I went to college 4 years for marketing and sales. Got out, tried to work with my father for a little bit. He just had couple little stores and some real estate stuff. That didn't go very well. So in the process of deciding what I was going to do with my life after that, I bought a house, a foreclosure house for super cheap that needed a septic system. Had a buddy who came over, we put the system in. I was like, well, this is pretty cool. Just kind of started looking around at different jobs because they were offering me like $12 to $15 an hour for a marketing degree, or I could go stand in Sam's Club and try to sell you like knives or something. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I initially got a job at a mulch yard. I haven't really worked many real jobs up to this point other than like student jobs and where I didn't have any real bills. And it was like $12 an hour and I didn't know any better. I got my first 2-week paycheck and it was like $700 for 2 weeks. And I was like, I can't live off this. So I quit that job, went and got a job at running equipment. I was in the mulch yard running loaders. Absolute worst place I've ever worked in my entire life. Everything is on fire. Everything it just says warning cancer causing. No one's doing anything about it. It's just like the dirtiest, grossest, nastiest. Hours are terrible. So I had a buddy who worked at a construction company that is the utility work that I got into. He's like, hey, we're hiring. We'll hire anybody with a pulse. You don't really even need to know. It doesn't matter if you've got some equipment experience. So that's when I went to Irongate Excavating. Started there as just a laborer, worked my way up to a foreman, all the way up basically the ranks as high as I could go, and doing utility work. And kind of just one day decided I could probably do this on my own. And pretty much made that decision that day. Walked up to the owner, left the job site, drove straight to the owner's office, and was like, "Hey, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but I think I'm done." And I kind of just shot straight from the hip, went pretty much balls to the wall, trying to make that dream a reality. And here we are.
So when you started, how much equipment did you have to buy? Aaron?
I first started by buying a skid steer,
What is a skid steer?
a Bobcat.
Oh, okay.
Wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I'd have rented more to begin with because it really ties your hands. I still rent all the time. I probably spend $100,000 a year just on rentals, equipment, and all the big boys do it too. But in my mind, when I was starting out, so I went from a job making very good money to no job and now big loan payment.
Yeah.
So that was absolutely terrifying. Don't recommend anybody do that. I should have just rented as I needed.
Yeah.
I still had to rent some equipment. Yeah, kind of just went out at full speed. Funny enough, I did it. I saw one of your podcasts about cold calling and whatnot and how that's not the way to go. That is how I built my entire business.
Maybe some people have the magic with it. Maybe I just don't.
It's not. There's no magic to it. It's
How long ago was it though?
2020, 2021. It was right in the middle of
Still pretty
COVID.
recent.
Yeah, very recent. So my entire sales tactic was I drove around probably, I don't know, probably put a couple hundred hours driving around looking for the builders that have the little signs in the front yard, not the big Ryan Homes, the big builders, just the little guys. And I just called every one of those little builders I could find and eventually got a yes. And now I'm actually in the middle of doing a 36 acre development where we're developing it with that same original customer from the cold calling. And then another kind of cool story on the cold calling that kickstarted my business, and I have no idea how this happened at all. I get a phone call. There's a large site development company. I'll leave the names out, but that was going out of business. I get a phone call from them. It was very well known. They started out real big and they fizzled out real fast, but they grew to like 180 guys, a couple $100 million company, and then in and out really quick. Yeah. Called me and they're like, "Hey, I've got your business card on my desk." It's like, it's absolutely no way you have my business card on your desk. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I've never had any association with you or anyone in your company." He's like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you other than I have a business card on you handed it to somebody, right?" So I would go to job sites and I just hand out cards to everybody, cold calling, stopping in. Anybody that would listen and wouldn't kick me out before I could hand them a card. I planted probably 10, 20,000 seeds of business cards to people. And then I have a mentor of mine that I called and I was like, "Hey, what do you think about getting in bed with a dying horse like this? You know, I don't know if they've got any money. I don't know, whatever." He's like, "Well, you're just starting out and I know how it is. You can get crippled really easy, but on the flip side, do you have work?" I was like, some. He's like, "All right, well, let me think about it and call you back." So he calls me back. He says, "I'll tell you what I would do." So you don't necessarily need the work. He said, "Say it's a $10,000 job. Tell them it's a $20,000 job. You want half up front." Right? So if they screw me out of the second half, I would have got what I would have got anyways. Clever. So they called me up. I gave him the numbers. He called me up, and mind you, I'd double my price. And he calls me and says, "Hey, there's more money on the table if you want it." Who is this? So immediately I was like, "Yeah, I will be there tomorrow." What do you mean? I mean, these were pretty substantial numbers. It wasn't a $10,000 job. It was significantly more than that. Yeah. So that's those cold calls that I don't know who I called. I don't know who I talked to because I talked to so many different people. One of those seeds that I planted just grew. I have no idea how. I have no idea how it got to them. In the moment when I was cold calling, I thought that was a no. I thought somebody had rejected me. I don't even know who it was that rejected me, but somehow that business card from a no wound up getting planted in some other field and fertilized into at least, I think we've done close to $1.5 to $2 million worth of work out of that one business card that I have no idea how it got. That business card was handed to somebody who said no. And somehow, by the grace of God or however, wound up on somebody's desk with over $1 million worth of work.
That's awesome.
And I have no idea how. It was purely from a no to me just being obnoxious to everybody I could find. Hey, if you ever have a need, if you want any, you want put on the bid list, whatever, is not being afraid to go out and say no. You know, it's in your situation as a realtor, you might go knock on doors or hand somebody a business card and they throw it in their junk drawer, and then a neighbor's coming over to grab a pen or something. They say, "I gotta grab a pen out of the junk drawer," and they just happen to see your business card. And cold calling is almost all no's, but it only takes one or two yeses to get results from it. I mean, I don't know what cost I had in that business card or how long I was driving to get that business card into the hands of somebody. No idea how, but all those no's led to that yes. And that from that point, that's where my company really took off. I had no intentions of growing to the size I am. I didn't even want any employees. And here I am, anywhere from 4 to 5 guys, full-time payroll, you know, doing over $1 million a year in work. I wanted to do 1 or 2 jobs a week when I quit my job. But that one cold call just exploded into chaos, basically, in my life.
Maybe they're more valid than I thought. I mean,
but it was a no, right? So I got the no, and then somehow it just transitioned into being a yes because I planted so many seeds, even in terrible ground. Yeah, seeds eventually going to. A seed will grow on concrete if you throw enough of them out. You know, 1 or 2 will fertilize, and you'll get some growth out of it. But yeah, no, I'm a huge. I do almost nothing at all on social media. I run my business pretty similar to the way the guys did in the 80s. You know,
are you still cold calling?
I have too much work to deal with. But most of that is honestly from cold calling. I've turned away, again, the no's. I'll get calls 2-3 years later from people. I'm still getting calls 2, 3, 4, 5 years later of people saying, "Hey, you swung by, you said you were doing utility work, you still interested? And pretty much all of them have been, no, unfortunately not. I'm so booked up, I can't see straight. But yeah, no, I completely built my company off of the opposite of what every internet guru right now is saying on the social media ads and I've got a website, I pay for SEO.
Yeah.
I get some leads on it, but honestly, just from the initial running around like an idiot for the first year, it's planted all or given me enough work that I don't really need to do much more.
That's awesome. That's one thing I was going to ask. So what's the smallest job that your company would take right now?
Like dollar wise, or
like if you have somebody who's, say, an investor who's got a property with a messed up foundation or needs some kind of connection to sewer pipe, would that be too small?
It's getting there. Honestly, yeah. At this point, my overhead is kind of taken over a point where I can't really afford to reasonably do that small scale of work. We do for some of our original clients, I don't make a dime on it. Like just the regular sewer and water hookups for like residential houses. Probably honestly lose money on them, but it's the relationship building. Like I said, the one home builder that was actually the first customer I got from just driving around cold calling is we're going in together and doing a 15 lot neighborhood over in Waynesville School District. It's 15 2-acre lots. We're going to do the full site development. It's me, him, and another investor going in. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That's cool.
It's a big leap from what I planned on doing when I quit my job. But
so you guys bought the land?
Yep. We right now we're going through all the due diligence. So we've got all the county approvals and zoning that are pretty much there. We've got it under contract. When you're doing something like that, you don't just go buy the land before you make sure the zoning, and then you also have to get an approved set of plans because you don't know. So for example, it's 800 feet straight back, but it's 800 feet wide, and we're only putting a road right up the middle. Technically, according to the county, you're supposed to take the road all the way to every property line. So that would be another 800 feet of road and water main that would double the development cost of the project. Yeah. So we need to make sure we can get our variances and everything done with that, make sure the numbers work before we actually close on the land, because when you're doing a larger development like that, there's just so many unknowns that, when you initially look at the property, these numbers might work, but the county can come in and throw road widening or throw, adding additional roads or cul-de-sacs or whatever, where, now it was a feasible project and now they just threw another $400,000 worth of work onto the development, and now it's no longer feasible. So you got to get through all those steps before you actually close. I mean, they've got our escrow money and they've got everything. We've got the financing lined out. It's just a matter of now making sure the county is going to let this be a feasible project. Yeah. So
I know when Nathan was in here, he was saying that just the permit cost to tap into the main water line is like at a ridiculous amount.
It's insane. So we did I saw the podcast, so it's even crazier or even worse to me than what he even said. So these couple guys went and they bought a piece of land and they developed it into 8 lots. They had 4 and they were going to sell the other 4. They had to pay to put their own sewer in, the sewer main that will be taken over by the county bills for, right? And the same with the water main for all those 8 lots. They had to pay a connection fee to tie in the water and the sewer to the main. Yeah. They paid to run the mains. Then they also had to pay again to tie into the main that they had already paid to tie into. They bought all of that, and now they're having to pay the county rights to tie into what they had paid to have installed for hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're giving free infrastructure, free billing to the county. They're getting a sewer bill and they're getting a water bill off of them every month. Those utilities won't have to be maintained for 50, 60 years at a very minimum, probably closer to 100 years. And they're billing them to hook onto it. They're billing them to use it. They're billing them to install it. There's permitting. There's inspection fees to install it. I mean,
that's a racket.
It is, yeah. And so people wonder why there's no such thing as like $100,000 house anymore. It's about $12,000 to tie in sewer and water and just permits. That's not me going in. That is just to have the right to tie into their main in Butler County. That's 10% of a $120,000 house. And you have nothing but a piece of paper. Yeah. That is 10% of a $120,000. It's impossible. The government has made it impossible anymore for affordable housing. You hear all this stuff about, affordable housing, affordable. the government eats probably tens or maybe 20, 30, 40,000 of a house build is going to be wrapped up in just unnecessary legal fees and permitting. And
it's crazy. That's not prices to dig up anything.
No, that's just to have a set of plans on a table, and that's it. I mean, it's just, what are we talking about? You're 20,000 in, that's 10%. That's 20%, 25% of a $120,000 house, and you have nothing to show for it. And that's why housing anymore, you can't build a house for under a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got, before you even break ground, you've got $30,000, $40,000 worth of costs.
That's nuts.
It's beyond nuts. And I don't know how our kids are going to afford to be able to buy and build homes.
Those 50-year loans, right?
Yeah, somebody wins on that one. That's for sure. We don't need to look at any amortization schedules or anything on those. We'll just look at the monthly payment. It's fine. Yeah, don't need to look at total cost of loan or anything. It's 50-year mortgage. It's fine. But actually, I keep saying that's going to be the plan last winter and this winter. But for my kids personally, I'm going to go buy 2 rentals when they turn 18, sign them over to them, let somebody else pay off for the next 15 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Pay it off, and then that's going to be their, here's your only shot at buying a house. You don't have to keep this one. You can sell it. You can keep it as a rental, whatever. But somebody else has paid this off for you for the last 15 years. Sell it, take the appreciation, and go buy your own house, or live in this house, whatever. But I don't see any other way our kids are going to be able to afford homes.
Yeah,
I mean, it is crazy. I mean, what you sell home, or you're a real estate agent? What is like the average home cost? And
it completely depends on the area and what you're looking for and all that. I always struggle though when people come to me and they say, "Oh, I'm looking to buy a house, but I don't think I can go over like 100,000." Okay, well, it's going to be.
Well, you saw the house I bought for 100,000.
But you had to dig up the entire.
Yeah, that house was not 100,000 doesn't buy you much anymore. No, that was yeah.
I wanted to talk about that one. I still tell stories about that house. I still refer to it as the Carnival House.
Yes, me too.
What was the wackiest thing that you found in that barn?
One of the cooler things, we threw a couple of them away, and I didn't know what we were dragging out. I thought they were like old tarps. And one of the things we drug out, I saw on the top it said like moon bounce or moonwalk or something.
Oh,
I was
they're like the inflatable bounce house.
I opened it up. It's a full, I set it up for my daughter's birthday party. It is like a 40-foot long, probably 18-foot tall, 20-foot wide inflatable slide. And I probably threw 10 of those away. I just thought they were like old tarps or old canvases or whatever out of that barn. There's a lot of real inappropriate little knicknacks were throughout that house. Oh, yeah. I don't know.
It was all like little carnival prizes. Like
I don't know what the guy was into, but there were some, just say, inappropriate gifts, little gag gifts and stuff throughout the house. Lots of like Mardi Gras kind of, give you an idea.
Gotcha.
Lots of stuff with pictures of paraphernalia and women and whatever.
I remember when we first got that giant shed open, just seeing all these like broken down carnival rides and stuff. It looked like a little stage from a horror movie.
It was that whole guy, that guy in general was a horror movie. I had to, I don't know if you remember, I think we gave him 2 months rent for $1, and then we went to like $5,000 for the next month. Yeah. He went until that night. He was there at midnight getting his last load out after 2 months. He took every bit of those 2 months to get his stuff out of there. And he was so mad at me he was cursing me up and down.
Why? You gave him so much
time. I gave you 2 months to get your stuff. I mean, he had a lot of stuff, but he was so mad. You're really going to try to charge me $5,000? So it's either that or you can just forfeit it and I'll bring my machine over and start loading all this stuff into a dump truck right to the dump. I gave you 2 months.
Yeah. Plus, how long was that house sitting there with all that stuff in there? You could have moved it at any time.
Anytime. I don't know what he did with it all. It should have all went to the junk, or the dump. But I mean, it was bad. It wound up coming out as a pretty cool project. Actually, the reason why I used a different real estate agent on the sale of that is she's the one going in on the multifamily with us, or the residential development with us. So as a part of all that, I had known that agent in the past. I don't even remember how the conversation between her and I got brought up, but right around the time of that was when the seed was put in to or the opportunity came across our plate, and that agent is one of the ones helping us finance it. Is going in. She's doing a lot with the project, more than just financing it. But
It's all just single family homes.
single family homes, yep. Again, we're getting into ridiculousness of cost of living, but how much an acre of land, even in our stolen price, stole the price. I mean, we got it. It's like 36,000 an acre for that, and then once it's developed, it's close to 100,000 an acre for land. I initially bought in 2017 12 acres and a house. Mind you, my house was completely abandoned.
Yeah.
For $42,500. And now 1 acre goes for double that. I mean, it's crazy. I got very fortunate that I got in the market when I did. If not, I couldn't afford the house I live in now. If I had to sell my house and rebuy it at current market value, there's no way. I don't know how we get out of this housing situation we're in, because either
appreciation is just wild now. Like everything's going up like 6% a year is the average.
Yeah, you crash the market, and yeah, the kids can buy houses, but now you just financially wrecked how many people, how many people got into these houses, these high prices. It's not going down anytime soon. I don't foresee it. I deal with developers in my excavation business all the time, and they're usually it's one phase at a time. This summer, I know of several neighborhoods where they were originally planning on doing just 1 phase, and they bumped it up to 3 phases. So instead of doing 30 lots at a time, they're doing 100 lots at a time.
Yeah.
So those developers are seeing a trend in the market where they're hitting the gas pedal. They're not letting off and saying, "Whoa, this is going to cool down." They're doing the opposite. They're diving in even heavier than before. So.
That's the thing. I hear a few people every once in a while. I hear them say like, "Oh, I'm waiting for the market to crash." Like, how is the house market going to crash? There's not going to be an influx of inventory of houses unless like Right Pat leaves.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
And that only affects our immediate area.
Yeah,
and that's it. I don't know. I don't know how to save this other than just work like a madman. I know a lot of people say that it's unrealistic to say that, but I'm not the one to say that too, because I've done some ridiculous things to afford my lifestyle. So, like I told you, I bought my house for $42,000.
Yeah,
I remodeled it by working. Now, mind you, most people can't buy a house anymore for $40,000, but you can on bigger scale. You can for $100,000. You could probably buy something similar. I worked at a bar every night, took that cash every day to put into the house for 6 months to make it livable. I didn't have any money. I didn't save any money. I literally just worked every night at the bar, took the $100 or $200. When I woke up in the morning, went straight to Lowe's, bought whatever materials I could buy, went back, worked on the house. Obviously, created a lot of equity in the home. Took that equity in the home and cash out refied to buy another house that, while working that construction job at Diggett, I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had 2 kids at the time. Woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, worked in the house from 4 till 7, had to leave to go to work, and then would go home, be with the kids till the kids went to bed. From like 8 or 9 when the kids went to bed till about midnight, I'd go work on the house again for about 4 months. And then I made enough on that house to pay off that loan, the full cash out refi. So now my home is free and clear. Took a huge risk, right? I've never flipped a house before. I didn't know what I worked on my house and I've worked on houses. So my dad had rentals and whatnot growing up, but never done anything like that. Certainly not by myself. No idea how to refinance a loan. I just typed into Google how to get money out of your house and said a cash out refi. So I called up the bank that I had my mortgage through. I was like, "Hey, how do I get money out of the house?" Basically, I'm sure I sounded like an idiot, but they're like, "Hey, we'll send an appraiser out and see. We'll give you 80% of the value on a." You can cash out up to 80% of the value minus the cost of the initial mortgage. And I think I got like 80 or 90,000 out, which is all I needed to flip that house. I had done that right at the beginning of COVID. And I thought I would have been super happy to sell that house for like 100. I can't remember exactly. I was like, I think I had set my goal at like 110. Just the sale price. I bought it for 60, put 30 in it. And so I had 90 in it. And especially back then, 30,000 was a home run for me, beyond a home run. That was like 6 months plus worth of work in my regular job. She walks in, she's like, it's the same agent that we're doing the development with. She walks in and she's like, "Looks great. How much you want to list it for?" I was like, 120. She's like, "Oh, no way." I'm like, "Oh my God, what'd I I thought she was like, no way, as in we're not getting anywhere near that. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how. And I was like, what do you think? She says, I'll say a higher number. I'm like, I don't know, 120, 130. She said a higher number. I was like, I don't know, 140. She's like, say a dumb number. I said, I don't know, 160. Listed it. This was right when the housing market, I didn't even know the housing market was exploding like it was. I was completely buried in my work. And she's like, no, well, let's list for one, I think it was 160. Or maybe it was 1.8. I don't know. Anyways, it was like 60,000 more than I would have ever dreamed that the house would have sold for. Listed it at noon, had like 7 showings that same day as it listed, got an offer like 15,000 over asking.
Nice.
It was not, that guy the contract wound up falling through, and we got it listed it again, and an exact same thing happened.
Awesome.
As soon as we listed it, it was very disheartening when I never really played that game before. I didn't even think it was a possibility once somebody signed a contract they would back out, but they did.
What made them back out?
Honestly, I don't remember. I don't even think they got to the appraisal phase.
Inspections, maybe?
No, or the inspection. I don't even think they got to the inspections. I think they
just like changed their mind.
I think it was just they probably put in several offers on houses, if I had to guess, and I don't remember. It's been a while now. I've had so much stuff happen since then. And then the second guy, the guy that actually bought it, he wanted, for whatever kind of loan it was, like a 45-day close.
Yeah.
Had plenty of time for inspections. The house was on a septic system. And they call me, or my agent calls me after I had left my closing. She's like, hey, the buyer's concerned that they didn't get a septic inspection. Okay. It's like, what are we supposed to do about that? What are they at closing? She's like, yeah, they're sitting at the closing table. And I'm like, you're trying to negotiate at the closing table? She's like, I've never seen this before. She's like, the market is insane. I don't know what to do right now. I was like, well, in the nicest way you can say without getting fired, tell them to get effed. And
they had more than
I don't know what you want me to do. So she calls me back and she's like, okay, they're asking for a $10,000 off the price of the house in case the septic's bad. Absolutely not. I just told you to tell them to kick rocks. I'll sell it to somebody else. They call back. She's like, okay, well, they just want a warranty that you'll warranty up for $10,000. So they turned down the home warranty. And they turned down everything. Yeah. No. And then she calls me back and is like, I think this just fell through. And then she calls me back like 3 hours later. She's like, apparently they signed at closing. Nobody even told me. We thought they all fell through, whatever. And I'm, again, I didn't know one could fall through. I already had one fall through at the closing table. They're sitting here trying to negotiate. Can you even write up a new how do you?
So, I mean, in that scenario, if they decide not to sign because of that reason, you get to keep their earnest money because they are breaking the contract. Yeah. And if you have any kind of financial loss, you can go ahead and sue them for it because they're causing it by not fulfilling the contract.
Yeah,
they can't just argue at the closing table like that. That's not how that works.
At the close, literally in the title office.
Insane.
I know.
Imagine if you're at the closing table and then you tell them, "Hey, I want you to pay $20,000 more for my house."
Yeah. What?
You can't do that.
And now the funny kicker to all this is that house I flipped was like, I can see it from my house. So they're now my neighbors.
Nice.
So it's kind of, I've never actually met them. I don't really want to.
Yeah.
They left a pretty bad taste in my mouth. They haven't bothered me or anything, but yeah, I see them all the time. It's just like, I don't know if he knows that I'm the one who sold him the house either. I have no idea if he has any clue that I'm the one who flipped the house. And again, actually, cold calling, that's how I got that house. Nice. Remember the tornado that came through a few years back? Yeah. Right before that tornado, a roofing company had bought that house to remodel it. They bought it through HUD. They came in, they were running through like fire, doing all kinds of work. They did the whole exterior of the house, started gutting the inside, and then the tornado hit and they disappeared because they're a roofing company. Yeah. Because they then now have more work than they can handle.
Yeah.
Just cold calling, bugging them, getting told to leave me alone before I block your number and tell them like, hey, sell me this house. You've not been here in a month. All right, a month later, he's like, no, we'll be back. 2 months, another month, call him. It's been 2 months. You haven't been here in 2 months. Sell me the house. No, absolutely not. All right, call you back in a month. Do not call me in a month. All right. Until he eventually sold it to me.
Nice.
Kind of similar to what I did with the Carney house. Nobody could get a hold of him if he didn't want to sell, and I'm not scared to get told no. You yell at me for calling you? Got a lot more to gain than I do lose. What do I got to lose? He's calling me some bad names, and I don't know how we got that far off. You asking how I got into excavating, but I do a lot, trying to get more in the development. but gonna stick with the bread and butter of the excavation business.
You plan on like hiring more people or buying more equipment, like expanding the number of projects you can do?
The only benefit I have to growing is bigger headaches. I live comfortably financially. My house doesn't cost anything to live there. I'm not into cool cars, really. I've got 2 motorcycles, but I like building motorcycles. So I don't have a lot in that. I don't need a lot of money for any of my hobbies. So in turn, I hire more people, have more jobs going, I have bigger headaches. I have to actively keep my foot on the brake as is. If I let go a little bit, it just starts, spiraling uphill again. There really is somehow that much work out there that I could probably hire another 5, 6 guys and keep a couple crews busy and spend another small fortune in equipment. I'm really at a decision point of if I want to go that route. There's a lot of diminishing returns though for me. I mean, I don't want a Ferrari. I don't want a Lamborghini. What I want and I love that I use my money for is I have a cleaning lady and I have a lawn service, right? So when I get done with work, my house is going to be cleaned once or twice a week. In the summer, I come home, I've got like 4 or 5 acres of mowable where I used to have to spend hours doing that. Now I can afford to just come home and just exist, and I can go to jiu-jitsu. I can go do whatever I want. I can go ride the motorcycles. That's what I want my money to buy me, and my money can already buy me that. Yeah. So now what expanding is going to do is I got to just go home and do more work. I got to go home and deal with more problems. I got to deal with more fires. Yeah. That's kind of the opposite of what I want.
You thought about going the other route, just putting all your money in some kind of passive investments and then just have nothing but free time?
I love what I do, the excavation. I want to still do that. I play with giant honking toys all day. It's cool, right? Like we're like plumbers, but we plumb cities. We don't plumb houses. We do the main plumbing infrastructure. I think the equipment's cool. I think building stuff is cool. I don't really have any intentions of like retiring or like I'm not excited about that because I don't know what else. I would want to do what I'm doing now if I retired. I'm kind of in a sweet spot now. We have a really good culture in my company. All the guys, everybody really gets along well. A lot of us hang out outside of work too.
I say that Nathan had nothing but good things to say.
Yeah, we have a very good group of guys with us right now. I don't want to go down. I don't want to not have the guys I have. I've got nothing but good things to say about all my guys. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to run further. The long-term plan with the additional money is just to build spec homes. It's not really that long-term. I had a lot under contract, and then that one fell through a couple weeks ago. It was ready to go. We were all on board, and then the seller just ghosted everybody, including his agent.
Interesting.
I don't know. It wasn't worth chasing or whining over. It's just like, all right, well, I guess that deal fell through. It's 2 acres, not too far from my house. We were going to just build a little spec house on. Just got the building plans from one of my builder's customers. He just gave me a set of plans that are already approved by Montgomery County. He already knows all the costs that go into it, so it was super easy, made a ton of sense. Thought I had the land ready to go for it, but I got rug pulled, but whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. We'll find some more land, either more land or another house. I'd like to do kind of the same thing. If you see any, let me know. I really liked the idea of what we did. I don't really want to do one that severe anymore, but the same thing, under 1,000 square feet, or we can put a cheap addition on the house and double the square footage of the house. You take a 700 square foot house, isn't very desirable. If you can take that 700 square feet, spend a little bit of money and put another 700 square foot addition of cheap space, like a big living room or bedrooms or something without, a lot of infrastructure in them. It's a really easy flip, really easy way to make money with the trades that I'm in. For a lot of people that, I don't have cheap labor, but as compared to hiring a contractor, I have cheap labor. And then I've got all the equipment to dig the footings, the grading, the demo of the existing parts of the house costs me a small fraction of what it would cost everybody else. So it's a niche I'd like to stay in. I just haven't been able to find any deals lately.
Remind me after it's like it might be too expensive because it's kind of a nicer house, but it's under 1,000 square feet. It's out in Brookville.
Okay.
And I mean, that's what's turned a lot of people off to it. It's under 1,000.
How much land is?
I think it's 0.3 acres.
0.3. Is there room for an addition?
Yeah.
I'd definitely be interested in looking at it.
For sure.
Is that one of your clients?
No, it was one I was showed to somebody else, but that's why they didn't want it because it was too small.
Okay. Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in looking at it at least. those kind of fix and flip or remodels or quick turn properties.
That is the next thing I want to get into. I want to flip something.
Okay, yeah, it's. Do you know Tyler Frazier?
The name sounds super
Owns
familiar.
Artisan, or one of the owners of Artisan.
I'd probably recognize him.
Yeah.
Not offhand.
Ask him some of his stories. It's not, unless you can be there every day, it's a nightmare. It can be worth it as long as you have the subs that are trusted and vetted, or if you have a general contractor. But then when you get in that, there's all the money has been eaten up. I mean, the only one winning, and that's the general. What kind of like full? Just are you looking for just cosmetic fix and flips or major?
Well, it depends. Right now, I'm in the process where I got my first rental back in June. That pretty much ate up all my money. So now I got to rebuild that nest egg before I can really look at anything else.
Do you have much equity in that house?
I put, I think, 25% down, and I've only had it for 6 months. So, I mean, I probably haven't built too much.
But it wasn't a value-add property or anything. It was just
Not
bought
really.
at market.
I had a contractor come in and fix a couple things, but it's not like we really
No big
did anything too
value add.
bad.
Yeah. So there's
Not anything people would notice. We like reinforce some of the foundation, fix some of the loose rocks in the basement. 'Cause it was like a
stone cellar.
Yeah.
That's my old
that kind of
farmhouse is the same thing. It's terrifying down in my basement. I have spiders that wouldn't fit in a soup bowl. I'd try not to get down there. Might be a big burly construction guy, but some of them spiders make me scream like a little girl.
Plan on passing it down to your kids? Is that
I've
long-term
got
play
two
with
little
it?
girls that we'll see. They're both very girly. I don't see them wanting to go play in the dirt. I mean, they like to ride in the equipment when I got it at the house. I don't know. We'll see. They're definitely little ballerinas right now. They're in their ballerina phase for sure. They're dainty little girls. I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I just we'll see. I don't know. I don't see them wanting to get down that path. Maybe the youngest one, but the oldest one is a girl's girl through and through. She's 8 years old and she's all about the makeup and she changes her clothes 20 times a day. Maybe she'll grow out of that. But right now, I don't think she's going to be too excited about playing in the dirt. I would love for them to work with me. That would be awesome. But I also saw how that was with me in trying to work with my dad.
Yeah.
Didn't go great. Obviously, I'm still not working with him. It's not anything against him or I. It's just the family dynamic of trying to work together with family. It's also kind of better to let family be family and business be business.
Yeah.
With that being said, I mean, I know people who've done it very successfully. It's just a risk. I'd rather maintain a relationship with my daughters as my daughters, not my business partners. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would love if it was it worked out that way. I just don't see it going that way.
Have you got either of them into jiu-jitsu yet?
No, they will get up on stage in front of 1,000 people and dance. Put my daughters in soccer and they ran away from the ball for the confrontation. The opposite way. They're very brave in their own world, but no, they have no interest. We take them to one of my coworkers. It's also a good friend of mine. His daughter wrestles. She's 10 for Valley View, and we take them to the meets all the time. And every time we're there, they love going to watch her wrestle. Every time, hey, you ready to do this? Absolutely not. Do not put me anywhere near that. Get me away. Like, they get mad at me for even entertaining the thought of that. But I would love if they did. But again, they're ballerinas. They're very much so ballerinas.
Subject of jiu-jitsu, you got me thinking about getting hurt. Weren't you in like a motorcycle accident?
Car wreck.
Car wreck? Recently, right?
In April. Yeah, I broke my T12 and a couple other vertebrae. The T12 is the one that connects your rib cage to your lower spine. It's called a chance fracture. As soon as I got out of the X-ray, they came out and were like, "Well, we know for sure you were wearing your seatbelt." I was like, "How do you know that?" And they're like, "It's a textbook seatbelt break." So I folded over my seatbelt and smashed my spine like in a triangle. So that was fun. I had to wear so they initially had tried to get me to wear a back brace or to get me to go to surgery. They immediately came in and was like, "Hey, this is not a stable break. You need to have surgery." Luckily, we have a family friend who's a pretty big wig back surgeon. So I had initially started asking them, like, okay, I hear it's unstable. I hear you. I understand. But all in the back of my mind, I don't know anybody who's ever had back surgery and was like, man, I feel great after that. Like, it's always horror stories.
Yeah.
As soon as you start cutting into your spine. And they just keep telling me, like, oh, you have to, blah, blah, blah. So I consulted with him. And basically what he told me was it's a game of liability. So if they don't do the most extreme thing to stabilize me and my back gets worse or I paralyze myself, whatever, I could sue them for not doing the most extreme thing. On the flip side, what they want to do is fuse 2 above and 2 below and then run a rod right through all 5 of them, right in the middle of my back. So I basically would never
wouldn't be able to bend at all.
Wouldn't be able to tie my own shoes ever again.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing back, and that surgeon was so mad at me for not doing the surgery. Everybody around me was mad at me. Do this. I'm not. The flip side is I take the risk to wear this back brace for 3-4 months, and I can tie my shoes and have full mobility again. Yeah. No way. There's no way.
I mean, was there a risk of it, like, I don't know, not healing right and you being paralyzed or something?
No, it's if it slipped, because I was like 2 millimeters. It was like 2 millimeters of spinal cord fluid between my spinal cord and where it broke and like kind of pushed out. Yeah. So it could have pushed into my spinal cord and paralyzed me. But I mean, if you can't bend your back, and I mean, at least I could walk, I guess. But I mean, the idea of being stiff like a board the rest of my life, never being able to put my own pants on, that seems pretty terrible. So I chose the route against all recommendations, except the surgeon that knows us basically said you'll be fine, to just go ahead and wear the brace. And then against all recommendations, 2 days out of the hospital, I was back at work. They say be the boss, you get to choose your own hours. The only thing they don't get to tell you is you got to choose them all. So you get to choose what order you work them in, but you got to choose all the hours. So
were you at least like doing some desk stuff, or
I mean,
you were actually out there lifting stuff? Back?
Plead the fifth. Depending on who listens to this, definitely wasn't in an office. Was definitely out on site. Went through the whole thing. Took the X-rays, and the surgeon's PA or whatever her position was, the doctor I was checking in on after. And I have to go get X-rays. She basically looked at me and was like, well, it's as healed as it's ever going to be. We don't know what that means. Go see where it breaks. What do you mean? She's like, it could never break again. It could break bending over to tie your shoes. So naturally, the first place I went was Iron Wolf.
Of course.
Like that day. It just said you're released. Actually, it wasn't straight there. I've got a home gym, and I went and threw 135 on the squat rack just to see how the weight on my spine would feel. I was like, that felt fine. Then went in there. So exact recommendation was go find out where it breaks. And it has not broken yet.
Right, let's find it.
Yeah, it's going to break. I might as well get it out of the way. It's her quote. It's as healed as it's ever going to be. Go find where it breaks. All right.
Did you have any issues since then?
No. I'm sure it'll come back, but my flexibility is not. I mean, it was never been great, but it's not what it, like in warm-up drills, like doing the forward rolls. Yeah. I can definitely tell I cannot like roll quite at the same as I used to be able to. I mean, it feels kind of like bending a 2x4. It's very stiff. It'll move a little bit, but it's not great. It's definitely improving.
That's good.
The other thing is they basically said there's no PT for it. It's the opposite of PT. Take it, don't overbend, don't stretch, don't do it. They didn't prescribe me any PT. She's basically was like, this is what your back is now. We don't need to train it into more or do any more physical activity to, see where you are. So just go live your daily life. And that's what I did. And I haven't broken it yet.
Are you doing any of the hardcore stuff on the drop site, or are you pretty much outsourcing that to the guys?
No, do everything. I'm down. Just the same shitty conditions everybody else is. If you ask anybody that works for me, you show up on a job site, 99% of the time you can't tell who the boss is because I'm down doing exactly what everybody else is doing. Except when it's super cold, I might hop in equipment more often. Sorry, guys. The big excavator's got heated seats. I don't know what to tell you.
Are you hiring anymore? Are you happy with that?
I'm probably going to hire another guy or two in the next couple months. We've got quite a bit of work coming up that's going to make life easier, having another guy or two. I've got some guys in mind already. I've got quite a few guys that are, I don't want to say beating down the door, but really pressing to try to work with us. And that comes down to kind of like what you said, Nathan had nothing bad to say. It's other previous coworkers of guys that work with us now. They're telling them about it. I try to do a lot to to make it where we're living to work, or we're working to live, not living to work. Like Nathan in his gym. For me, it's a non-negotiable for he's getting to his classes. I don't care what we're doing. I don't care if it's going to hurt us. Go. Same with he didn't do it this year, but last year, the coworker that said that his daughter wrestles. I don't care what we're doing. You're going to go coach her class. Or if your wife has an appointment and you need to go with her for whatever reason, or if you need to take your wife to the airport, you need to do what. Work doesn't necessarily come second, but it kind of does. I'm competing with some of these big companies that can pay $50, $60 an hour. Some of these prevailing wage companies, some of these guys are making $80 an hour. I can't pay that. But what I can do is make it a very, very personal place to work. Like a lot of these big companies, you are such a number. It's not even funny. I mean, you're working 12 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week. The second the weather breaks and work slows down, you're laid off, you're gone. They don't care if you've got, your daughter's ballet recital. They don't care if you've got whatever. A lot of the guys, I'm not saying my guys aren't money driven, but having guys that are driven by more than just money. Plus, those are the kind of people I want to be around. The family guys, like we all have cookouts at my house in the summer. We all hang out, families, wives, whatever, come over. Putting that before work is really important to me. Keeps the wives extra happy. It's hard to quit your job when your wife's happy with you. Like I bought my guys a half a cow for Christmas, and now they have great grass-fed, beautiful beef, like the best beef you can have. They each got like probably 300 pounds of beef each. That now, not only the boss isn't the only one eating good steak. I got that idea because I used to work with a guy who would always complain and say the line that the owner, I'm not going to say his name, is out here eating steak while I'm eating bologna sandwiches. Can't even afford bologna sandwiches. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to make sure we all eat steak.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like a metaphor is why I did it, but it's real. I mean, not having to buy meat for the rest of the year is a huge cost savings for them. And not only are they not buying meat, they've got the
best they can get.
The best. I mean, when I say this beef from this farmer is the best, I mean, it is Nate's parents own beef, or they do cattle. And even Nate, when he first bit it into it, he called me. He's like, where did you get this? Like, this is the best beef I've ever tasted. And I grew up on a cattle farm in West Virginia. Like, this is unbelievable. Making sure that work is not their top priority. They need to prioritize it, don't get me wrong. But family comes first. If you've got to go. I'm not going to question you. If you call off work for family things, that's all you need to say. You don't need to explain it to me. You got a doctor's appointment for your wife. You got your kids, soccer practice, soccer game, whatever it might be. You just want to go hang out with your kid for the day. That's important to me that they can do that, is where in big companies, you can't do that. They don't care. They've got a $200 million job going on. You're not going to interfere with that job. You better be there and fill your role.
Friend of a friend, they work for a place. There was a coworker over theirs that had cancer, and they went in for some kind of surgery and then had some kind of complication with the surgery, had to call off and go in again. And their HR denied them for that, the complication, because they're like, oh, that wasn't part of the original paperwork. They've got cancer.
Yeah, it's creating that environment. And I've done some other stuff for the employees that I won't get onto on here, but like making sure they know without questioning that, like, you guys matter more than this job. Your life outside of work matters. And then on top of that, I'm going to do my best to support what you have going on outside of work. So when I quit that job that I was telling you about, when I just decided to go in and quit, this is another thing that stuck with me. Wade, the owner, pretty much tried to bribe me to stay. He's like, all right, I'll pay your health insurance the rest of the year. I will give you the full extent of my office, whatever I need to do to help you with your business. But if you can stay with us for the rest of the season. So I was like, all right, I had hardly any work lined up, just from my cold calling, right? So I had went and worked like 2 days at my job or at my business, and then worked 3-4 days at my other job. And then it was like, all right, next week I didn't have any work. Then the next week I'd have to take like 4 days off. And then the next week I was like, hey, I got to take 4 days off again. And he promised me that I could put my business first. But the deal was that I need to still be there for his business. and his work. And it got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm going to work a week on, week off. And he saw basically that, or in his mind, I think what happened was he saw that he was going to start hurting me. So he called me into his office and was like, I'm still going to honor what I said about, helping you. But you, as far as I'm concerned, you have held up your end of the bargain the best you could. I want to let you go and let you run in your business. They still to this day, we do a ton of work with them. One of the mentors is that I said I called up about the other businesses. The old owner, his dad, he supported me every way he could on the way out, even though I was hurting him by leaving him. Yeah. And I try to do the same thing like with Nate and his gym. And I think about that all the time, the way Wade treated me when I left. I want to emulate that for any of the guys. If they want to go chase a dream, if they want to do whatever, I'm going to back them to my fullest extent because of that's what Wade did for me. And still to this day, I can call his office, call one of his estimators, and just run a quick question by him. Like, hey, what are you guys getting for this? Where are you getting this material? What are you doing? What are the permitting? Whatever, So I've got his full office that, I'm not saying it's more than just phone calls, but it's still, I've got him at my disposal. Now we're doing, like I said, we're doing the Yellow Springs school. Yeah. I'm actually a subcontractor of him. So they won the job. They're subbing us out. We did a Wawa gas station for them last year. We've got another neighborhood for them coming up. Far from burning any bridges with them because the way we both handled it, I think. I mean, it's become very mutually beneficial for both of us that I left. But in the short term, I know it hurt me leaving. But he did everything he could to support me. He still does. I can't say enough good about that family. But I want to be able to do the same thing for my guys, which is I'm trying to do with Nate. In other ways, I'm helping some of my other guys too. But again, I'm not going to go into that on the podcast because more personal stuff. Yeah. But it's just being able to be a company that puts the guys first is where, and I understand it. If you got a $20 million, $40 million job, you really can't worry about if Bob's got to go take his kid to soccer practice. Like, buddy, I've got each day out here is $50,000. Like, I can't afford to make this job go an extra 3-4 days because you wanted to go play on the playground with your kid one day and you didn't feel like coming into work. Like, that's a lot of money. You could really cause a lot of damages, but it's a hard battle for me of teetering that line, of being able to provide enough value and not completely screw myself with guys.
That's awesome. I mean, most jobs wouldn't care less regardless of how big they were.
I think that's changing with
I hope so.
It is with social media. You could be a scumbag. You can be
you get called out.
Now you can get called out, but in the 90s or middle 2000s, 80s, 90s, all you know is just a big employer over there. You have no idea how it actually is unless you know somebody who works there in the 90s. Now you can get on Facebook or Instagram or wherever, Reddit, and you know everything about that company before you step through the door. Any big company. So you can't really do that as much anymore. It's definitely I see the trend of caring more about your employees.
That's good. That really needed to happen.
It does.
I worked for an ambulance company for a long time, and their sick policy was basically you're not allowed to get sick. It's like you get in trouble if you get sick, you get so many points. And if you come in with a doctor's note, we'll take half those points away. Okay, so I still get in trouble for being sick. Even if it's like a legitimate, the doctor says, hey, you were sick, you came into the office, I gave you this, you had this. I still get in trouble.
Is that legal?
They did it.
Yes, I don't know. It doesn't feel legal.
I mean, I ended up switching companies before it really became an issue.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had no issue with employee turnover at that company at all.
I can't think of a better way to say that you hate your employees.
My thing is, I don't want to ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't be willing to. I'm not going to work for a company that does that. Are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
It's beyond crazy. Who made that rule?
They did. They were real proud about it, too.
Really?
They had no shame at all.
Who was it? A small operation or a big corporate?
I can tell you after the podcast.
But was it like a smaller operation or was it a national company?
It was smaller, but then they got bought by a bigger one.
Okay. Was the bigger one that bought them that made the rules, or was that a pre-existing rule?
Pre-existing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Especially being the guy that like made the rule and you got to go talk to those guys every day. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, no sense of humanity to these people. These are all just people in here. You're not allowed to get sick. I don't want you to come to work if you're sick. I don't want to get sick.
Not only that, it was an ambulance company, so we were riding in the back with people who were already sick, sneezing on them.
Oh, I thought you meant like, okay, that's a totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Plus, I mean, you think about it, we're in nursing homes, we're in hospitals, we're around the people who are sick. Sooner or later, we're going to catch something.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you don't want to go some elderly lady who broke her hip that you're giving her a ride. And then now I'm sick, and now she's sick and has a broken hip.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a good time.
I don't know if that's a good time. We have very different definitions of good times.
One of the several reasons I left that company and moved to a much better one.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do that. That's funny. I do jiu-jitsu, where you touch people a lot, very intimately. It's not just at a distance. I don't even think I could be a barber. Like, just the idea of touching somebody's head or other people grosses me out. Some reason when you put on spandex, take your shoes off, and step on a mat, it's totally fine. But outside of that element, there's no way.
You get to walk out of there covered in everybody's sweat.
Yeah. Some reason my brain is like, that's fine. That makes sense. You want me to like touch an old nasty arm, like with a little bit of blister or something? No way. Not a shot. Call a professional. That's not me.
That never bothered me because I always had gloves and stuff. Take them off. We got really good at like flinging them across the room.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm very aware it's like I don't want to be on a one-story roof, but I will sit on the edge of a ditch in a trench box that's 30 feet deep and dangle my feet over and have no fear. I'm afraid to be 10 feet off the ground, but if the hole is 30 feet down, for some reason my brain doesn't think that's scary, but being 10 feet above the ground is terrifying. It's a way further drop, and I'm aware it's irrational, but there's no way I could, there's no way. Completely an irrational fear. I don't even know if it's a fear or a phobia or what it would be, but yeah, no, can't do that. Never. Could be me.
Are you guys looking to acquire any new customers, or are you happy with what you got with that new development you're working on?
It gets
Like if
gets
somebody
back
came
the
to you
teeter
with like
point
the perfect
of-
job, what would it be?
It's the teeter point of growing or not. I could be tempted into hiring and growing more rapidly. I don't know. It's the diminishing returns thing. It's what do I get for growing? I get maybe more money, or I could lose more money and have a bigger headache with something I'm not as in control of. Again, for what? I have the house, the property. I don't really care about cars. I mean, I drive nice-ish cars, not really. I mean, they're cheap. I don't believe in car payments. So everything I buy is like nice enough. It's nice enough to be presentable. It looks nice from a distance. Usually has some miles on it. I don't want to have to worry about my car. It goes back to I want my money to buy me less worries. Yeah. So if I have a cheap car that is, I don't want to have to worry about where I park it. I don't want to have to worry about getting it muddy because I play in the mud. Mud bought it. Dirt bought it. So it's going to get dirty. I don't want to have to worry about that. Like people that have to have the showy car and worry about it and can't park near other people and get mad when people touch the window or the door. You just bought a headache.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that stuff.
I thought about that stuff. Like if somebody gave me a really, really nice car, I'd probably just want to sell it and use the money for other stuff because then it comes with so much hassle.
Yeah. This is just like people that want these massive houses they're building now. Why? Why would you want more shit to take care of? It blows my mind.
More room, more stuff, more dirt 'cause you got to dust everything now.
Yes. The rooms you don't ever even go in. It's
the only time that would ever really make sense to me is if you have like a really multi-generational home. If you got you, your parents, your kids.
Oh yeah, there's a place for that. Sense. But there's a lot of
people like just them.
A lot of our
kids.
Parents' generation where it's empty nesters with a 6-bedroom house. Why? Wouldn't it be great to downsize the house and have more money in your pocket, pay somebody to clean it, somebody to maintain it? If you care about your car, you still got enough money left over for somebody to come detail your car once a week.
Yeah.
Or I could have 5 extra bedrooms in my house that now I can't afford to pay somebody to clean, and I've got to put furniture in it for some reason. I also hate furniture shopping. It gives me so much anxiety, like IKEA. And
you don't
stores.
love going to IKEA and following the path for
an
hour and a half?
No, it feels like a torture game to me.
I did that once. It was horrible.
Horrible. And then have you put it? I'm convinced that there's a stat out there somewhere that shows that IKEA is a leading cause of domestic violence, because there's no way the frustration of a couple putting that stuff together does not lead to some measurable amount of domestic issues. It is a little shelf that's 3 feet by 3 feet by 2 feet, 700 pieces. Like, you had to have been
Allen wrench.
Yeah, one Allen wrench that doesn't even like fit in all the spots because you can't even twist it full turns. Who are you people that designed this?
I've had to put together 1 or 2 of those things. Absolutely hate it every time.
Yeah, and it leads between fights between couples because you're taking things back apart because you're trying to read these directions that don't make any sense. Yeah, no, I have no interest in a bigger house, more property and stuff. You can go out and play and whatever. I kind of understand that they don't make any more dirt, so at the end of the day, it's a good investment. Just buying property, but a bigger house just to buy a bigger house is just crazy to me.
Yeah, having some land would be kind of cool. You can get archery if you want. You can get like axe throwing or something, shooting, whatever you want with that big piece of land.
Yeah, but a big house that you
less neighbors,
furnish and deal with, and you got a bigger, more expensive furnace and a bigger, more expensive water heater when it goes out, and a bigger, more expensive air conditioning system, and you got more plumbing in the house, which leads to more problems, and you got more everything, more problems. Houses, I don't know. There's a place there's again a diminishing return on size. Like I said, nobody wants a 600 square foot house, but
I think that the multi-generational things is going to become a bigger thing in our society, especially with the cost of houses being crazy. Like, instead of everybody buying their own single family house that ends up being $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, if you get one pretty big one for like $600,000-$700,000, and you have the parents living there, and then you're living there, and then your kids are living there, the parents can help take care of the kids while you guys going out. When the parents get elderly, you can start helping.
A lot of
taking
cultures
care of
do
them.
that.
I think that's going to happen here. It just makes sense with how things are going.
Oh yeah.
Everybody can split the payment, or you keep it in there for generations.
My daughters are young, so I'm probably still in la la land, but I would love if they lived with me forever. Like, I don't want to kick them out when they're 18. We'll see when they're teenagers. But at this point, they're my best friends. So
it makes sense as people start getting older too. Like, my parents are in their 70s. It's really nice if they're there and I'm there, and something happens when my mom falls down. I'm 2 feet away to help her stand up.
I think there's like the Amish do or whatever, the Ramadan. You need your time out as a young kid to get the crazy out of you. But after that, I mean, definitely me at 17, 18 years old, or 18, 19, 20 years old, I don't want to be tied up with my parents. But I guess you could rent for a little while when you go explore. But also, a lot of stats show kids are getting less and less wild. Like, the underage drinking has been plummeting for years. I know we were pretty wild as kids. I was more than wild as a kid. I know all that's kind of going away. You see a lot of stuff about, a lot of reels and whatnot about the younger teenage kids thinking they're being rebellious. Like, I don't know, drinking too much caffeine. It's like, oh, you drink too much caffeine, huh? That's exactly what Dad was doing when he was 16. Yeah, that nailed it. That's too many of them Mountain Dews, that's for sure.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely didn't do any illegal activities as a child. Never mind. I was going to tell a story, probably not a good one.
We'll skip that. That's for a later podcast.
How do you see the market being or going right now?
Right now, I mean, it's coming out of wintertime, so very few people move in the wintertime unless they absolutely have to. I mean, sometimes people move. There's reasons people move year round. Like, somebody gets like divorced, or they have a kid and they want a bigger house, or they in the military, they get deployed somewhere else, or somebody just gets a new job and they have to move somewhere. But for the most part, people don't like moving in the winter if they have any kind of choice in it. Moving a fridge in the snow sucks.
No, I can only imagine.
Yeah, and plus, like, it's really hard to see if a roof is any good if there's a bunch of snow on top of it. So that's another risk with it.
Yeah.
So as soon as springtime runs around, there's going to be more people like listing and selling, which is good and bad.
What do you think would help stimulate, like, not to be political, because I don't care which way, but like, what policies do you think, or is there anything that's holding us back that you think politically or whatever, anything that the government could actually do to stimulate any more sales or make anything more affordable?
I mean, anything they could do to reduce inflation would be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beyond my knowledge of exactly what they could do with that. But I mean, I worked for the government for a little while doing TSA at the airports.
Oh, I can't imagine the worst job.
So
it's got to be so boring.
So, I mean, the X-ray was really fun. X-ray was like a video game. I'm on there. I'm finding pepper sprays and tasers and knives and stuff. That was a great time. But everybody's had a terrible attitude. But like that was just a tiny touch of the government, just seeing a little bit of how it works. And there was a few people in there that were higher up that like they'd never set foot on checkpoint. They sit in an office. They're making well over $100K a year, and I couldn't tell you what their job is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like reckless government spending on stuff. They could cut that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think I saw a thing that made a lot of sense. Is so single person, you pay no capital gains up to 250, married 500,000. Well, a lot of the older generation, which is stopping the people from moving up in houses, is a lot of our parents bought these houses for 120,000. They're worth 700,000 now, 800,000, whatever. They don't want to move because they don't want to pay the capital gains taxes. So opening up the top of the market to get those people moving into smaller houses or different houses to allow the market to move. But right now, I think there is some choke out at the top of the market where there's some of these people with so much equity. Our parents' generation with so much equity in these houses is not even funny. I mean, they bought it for 80,000. It's worth 800,000 now, and they don't want to pay the capital gains taxes on it. But they also don't need this giant house anymore. We were talking because they raised their kids in it. They had a 5-bedroom house. Now it's a $800,000 house, $1 million house. Well, if I move and I'm gonna have to pay a portion of this to the government, and
I know if they live in it for so long, they get some kind of little bit of a tax break, but they still have to pay a pretty giant chunk.
It goes in a long-term capital gain versus short-term, obviously, if they've been living it that long. But it's
still a sizable chunk on
it's still a sizable chunk. That why am I going to move and pay that if I don't have to, or just die here and give it to my kids? Which I believe is there still a death tax?
I'm sure there is, but I think if you set things up the right way, it's you either don't have to pay anything, you don't have to pay much.
Okay,
but that's like estate planning lawyer stuff.
But it gets back to I can't afford to live in the house I live in if I had to buy it now. So how do you? I'm just blessed because I bought it before everything went crazy, and I bought it for nothing. Yeah, I don't know how you mitigate that.
That's a real question. That's why I think the multi-generational thing is going to be a thing. People are going to rent for that small period of time where they kind of want to get out of the house and go a little bit wild by themselves, and then move back in when everything makes sense. They're tired of paying their $1,000 to $2,000 a month in rent.
And then have you seen like these electric bills that everybody's posting about lately?
No.
You have your social media, my whole feed, every local group I'm in is people getting from AES like $1,000, $1,200 electric bills a month.
Dang.
It's a big thing that I guess PUCO, the Public Utility Commission, just authorized AES to increase their delivery charges, not just their per kilowatt hours. Now they're just charging you to bring electric to your house through the wires that are already there, the infrastructure that's already there. And then we're buying the electric, which is supposed to go to their profits to maintain it. But now I guess electric is just pure profits for them because they don't.
Fun.
Yeah. It's like my last electric bill was like $600, and like at least $350 of it was delivery fee. Wasn't
That's
even
crazy.
Delivery fee through the 60-year-old power line out front of my house. A lot of people are blaming the data center, which I don't know anything about those, but the big data centers and whatnot.
Oh, like the AI stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of those are getting built. I don't have any idea where they're getting built. I just assumed they were getting built like out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh no, they're building one in Trenton.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Or they're trying to build one in Trenton. There's one in Columbus or Lima area they're trying to put up. I think there's one in Columbus too, but there's definitely one over by Lima. There's one in Trenton that's supposed to go up. And these things are massive. Like they're building one now that's bigger than all of Manhattan.
Jesus.
Have you been to New York City?
No.
It's unimaginably large. They're making one building that size.
What's funny is with the way technology advances here in like 5-10 years, the whole building's going to be obsolete.
I've often thought about that too. Maybe. Self-advance being AI. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
The AI stuff is wild. I thought Google had all the information, or it was easy to look up now. Now you can ask it literally anything. It's really not a lot of excuses for people not to do something themselves now, though. You literally have an all-knowing. You don't have to go to school anymore. I thought we cheated the idea of tests and whatnot just by being able to Google it. Now I skipped another step from even Googling it. I can find every answer.
Write this book report for me.
Yeah.
Cool. Done.
Done. Done. Explain to me this advanced physics concept like I'm 4 years old and make me understand it. And it's going to spit out something that a 4-year-old could now understand that physics concept.
That's too boring. Make it into a cartoon.
Yeah. Boom. All right. Right there. Boom. It's like, are you kidding me? I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Right? I mean, only time will tell.
I don't think there's any stopping it.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to find out one way or another, like it or not.
It's going to either be like iRobot or one of those movies where the robots take over, or I don't know. I don't really have a say in it, though. I know about the power thing, though. We did a 900-acre, we were part of a 900-acre solar field up in Quincy, Ohio. It's a $1 billion project.
Yeah.
I forget the actual. They allowed like a 13% breakage, which came up to like they were allowed to break like $13 million worth of solar panels while installing them. We were out there. These solar panels are not waterproof. Yeah. Okay. So
like even once they're all set up?
Once they're set up. So all we were doing was taking the excavator and just digging little bleeders to drain mud puddles.
Yeah.
Because the evaporation from the puddle on the ground would destroy the solar panel.
That's insane.
Insane. Like,
did they know this?
Yeah. Yeah. So, all this push for these green energies.
They have to have a waterproof solar panel. And they just didn't use them?
It was 900 acres of them. I mean, this was not a small operation. We were out there for like 2 months draining mud puddles.
It's
mind-boggling. $1 billion project. 900 acres of solar field up in Quincy, Ohio. And we were draining mud puddles because the evaporation from the puddle would destroy the panel.
But like the first time it rains, the whole field is screwed.
I don't know. I think a lot of them probably die every rain. Some of them make it, but a lot of them, I mean, you can't comprehend what 900 acres of those, it's like a post-doomsday, I mean, you're like in a worse version of like a Dr. Seuss neighborhood where every house is the same. Like you're in the middle of it and you're like, you climb up on top of a piece of equipment 20 feet in the air looking around and it's just solar panels.
That's nuts.
It is crazy. It's kind of creepy.
It's like dystopian kind of
It's
thing.
very dystopian. It's like this was a pretty farm field that had crops growing in it. Now I want to know how they got that. I came in after most of the panels were there. There must have been a line of just semis coming in nonstop for a year. I mean, 800 or 900 acres of solar panels. Was there probably 30 semi trucks full of solar panels per acre? Shipping those things all the way across the earth to get to there to get set up just for them to. There's people that are stationed there just replacing solar panels. That's their full-time job, is just replacing solar panels as they go bad.
Every time there's a puddle.
Yeah, just draining puddles. That's what I asked them. Like, isn't it a good thing? You would think like the reflection of the light up would be a good thing. Like, oh, absolutely not. It'll destroy these panels. That's
insane.
They spent $1 billion on this. A literal billion.
So much of that is crazy because like there has to be a kind of panel that won't break it.
A tube of caulking. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
We can't figure out how to encase something and seal it up watertight.
Right.
Had to drain the puddles. Got hundreds of pictures of us just draining puddles in a post-apocalyptic looking wasteland of solar panels, just draining mud puddles.
I was picturing they hire like a couple dudes to run out there with towels and just like dry up.
The other thing is you should see them mowing it. They mow because you have to mow it, right? Or else the grass will block the panels. You just watch them blowing rocks straight through solar panels, mowing them all day long. It's 900 acres. There's guys mowing around the clock every day in the summer. And you just ding, ping, ding, just rocks, sticks, dirt clods flying off the mowers, just smacking solar panels.
I think at some point you got to get up there and clean them too, because otherwise like dust and stuff will get in.
Yep. There's people that are just continually cleaning them. So we're going to the green energy, but I don't know if it's the cheapest energy.
Any idea if it's like profitable with how much it generates opposed to how much the maintenance and
everything? No, and that's, I could have told you more about it then, but the sheer size of that field, the loss of, I forget what it's called in water lines, it's called, basically the amperage draw from going through the electric lines for so far, the panels are losing like 40 or 50% of their generation is wasted in carrying the conduit so far through these giant product.
Yeah.
By the time it ever gets to a house, you're using like 30% of, 30% of the power generated is all lost through the amperage drop going through the line. I'm using the wrong words, but basically the longer it runs through the wire, you lose the electricity, or it gets weaker or whatever.
Yeah.
Is the way they explain it to me. So yeah, no, it's garbage.
That's crazy. So, I mean, if they're losing that much money.
Tax credits.
Okay.
Government subsidies. Big money. I mean, obviously, if you convince people to spend a billion on something, there's money to be returned on it. I mean, if you got $1 billion, you're not a dummy. Well, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe you are. Maybe I'm just real dumb because I haven't figured out how to get one of those yet. Not even close.
Just need a giant ocean of solar panels.
Ocean of solar panels. Yeah. The other scary thing when we're out there, we had a little safety briefing. Once a solar panel is facing the sun, it's always live. So if you break a wire, rip through a wire, there's no turning it off.
Fun.
Yeah. I never really thought about that either. It's a continual production. So it's also very dangerous in there for like wildlife that gets in chewing on wires and whatnot. There's no breakers that trip. It's just zap. And yeah, dead. But can't imagine many animals want to live in that. I mean, it's terrible. It's the most dystopian thing you've ever seen inside of one of those places. Nathan went out there with Nathan. That was one of the earlier ones Nathan worked on us with, and this is ungodly, as in like lack of God. Like we have just stripped all nature just out the window in this place, and it's supposedly these AI data centers are that times a couple and then under roof, like really just.
Imagine, because not only it takes a ton of power to keep that stuff working, but it probably takes a ton of power to keep that stuff air conditioned too, because it heats up as it goes.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's have you seen all that stuff about like how much water AI uses?
No.
Probably gonna be making this up, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 liters of water per question you ask on AI.
That'd be crazy.
I'm like 99% sure that's what it is. There's a lot of the environmental people are freaking out over the water usage of it.
It just evaporates, right?
I don't really know what they mean by it, to be honest. I assume it's like a cooling thing. I mean, water doesn't disappear; it either evaporates or.
That's what I was thinking. I remember that was the big thing in schools. Like, don't waste water. I get that it's like the water bill. That's probably why you don't really want us wasting water, but it just evaporates and it'll rain again. So.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it like that. Yeah, it's fresh water. Don't abuse the gift of being given fresh water. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it's. What do you do? Spill it? Okay, well, it goes back to the earth. It doesn't go nowhere. Yeah. It's an interesting point. I never really thought about that. I have to think about that one for a minute. That's a really good point.
Answer the big philosophical questions here.
I think you're going to get yourself in trouble saying points like that. Your big water is going to be mad at you.
Oh, no. If I disappear, we know who got me.
Yeah.
People want to reach out to you. How do they find you?
Just Gottstein, Gottstein, excavating.com is the easiest way, or they can reach out 937-654-8045.
And who do you want reaching out to you?
Honestly, nobody. I'm too busy. No. Right now, any general contractors. We typically just do commercial work. So any developers, I know you're in the real estate world. So anybody who's doing any site development, anything under a 50-acre lot, we'll take on 50-acre development. Any sewer mains, water mains, anything like that, any of the developers that are listening to this or might be listening to this in the future, be the ideal client base to reach out. We can handle the sewer, the water, the dirt moving. We can do full turnkey on site development. So the reality, yeah, that's who needs to reach out. But at the current moment, give me like a couple months, get my feet back under me, because get my schedule caught back up. But right now we're really wanting to stay in the commercial and real estate development niche, really trying to get away from the home builders and the smaller residential stuff. We pretty much don't do any residential work anymore, but the new construction stuff, we will do it. But really it's more the large scale developments, commercial or residential is the market we're heading towards and that we're best at. So, all right. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Thank you.